Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Happy Monday to everybody. I hope you had a great weekend. I did. I am working on MMT Trader all day today. Today, by the way, Monday is not the only day that I work on this report. I really start working on it starting on Wednesdays. It takes me a long time, but today is like, today's the pressure day. I got to write up the main commentary, so the report will be out later today. If you are on the list, you will receive it by email, or you might want to check later today around 5, 6 o'clock Eastern Time, New York time. Go to the website pitbulleconomics.com, click on the tab that says products, and you'll see a link there that says current and back issues. If I posted it up, it'll be there. If you do not have your 30-day free trial of MMT Trader, you can go to that same website, pitbulleconomics.com. Click on the tab that says products, and you'll see a link there that says sign me up for the 30-day free trial. Now the dollar's weak again today. Some of you, I've been getting these emails or comments. People they're having a hard time with this idea that rising interest rates are negative for the currency, and I've explained it. You really have to think about rate adjustments as price setting. That's it. One guy, a subscriber, a nice guy, sent me an article, and we were both kind of laughing at this article where some service or whatever group of analysts somewhere said, the yen is going down, dollar yen is going up because with Trump there and the fiscal stimulus and the inflationary policies, and the Fed is going to raise rates, right? All these things that I predicted, but they're still saying dollar yen is going to go up. Despite the fact we had already two rate hikes in the last year by the Fed, and the yen is up about 10% against the dollar. We had two rate hikes in the past year, and gold is up about 10% in dollar terms. So, what do you need to see? What do you need to see? I just love these people who go on with their hypotheses and if it was any closer, if it could, it would bite them in the nose. It's like the people who say, if the debt gets too high, interest rates are going to go through the roof. And I constantly, routinely put up charts showing, the chart of the debt going up exponentially and interest rates going absolutely down in the other direction to zero. And I'm not talking about, people who watch this channel who are maybe not that versed in economics or whatever. Not that you have to be. I'm talking about high level economists. I'm talking about people like Larry Summers. All right, I'm talking about this sort of level. Paul Krugman. I'm talking about all of these guys. And it doesn't matter. You throw the evidence out there, they just push it away. They just ignore it as if it doesn't exist. So what this is called dogma. Dogma is the stating opinion as if it is fact. Now, newsflash, there's a difference between opinion and fact. You can opine on anything. You can have an opinion about anything you want. You can believe in alien abductions. That doesn't mean it's fact. As a matter of fact, there's probably more probability of alien abductions than rising debt in a country like the United States, which is a sovereign currency issuer with all its liabilities denominated in its own currency, with a floating exchange rate. There's probably more probability of alien abductions than rates going up because of debt. It just does not happen. So it's really, really amazing, and people have a very hard time. Why? I'm gonna hypothesize why. And I think it's because they've been indoctrinated into thinking this way. And they've been indoctrinated into thinking this way because, for a long time, nations, not just the United States, but nations were on a gold standard. And under a gold standard, those rules, in other words, the ones that they think right now, which are wrong, those did apply. Okay? The country needed the gold. Gold was the base or the basis of its ability to create money. If it didn't have gold, it had to get gold, okay? And so on and so forth, or under a fixed exchange rate regime. That's also the case where many of these false notions under those types of regimes, a gold system, a gold standard, or fixed exchange rate regimes, those ideas would apply. They don't apply under free floating currency. I mean, they don't. They just don't, man. The other thing that you get a lot, and I've several times gone over this with numbers, with actual numbers. I don't have time right now, but I've done this in the past with that rates. When rates go up, then credit creation, loans creation goes down. Again, it's just you can't. There's not a one-to-one relationship like that. And I went over in the past from the mid 1970s to 1980, 81, when rates went from 5% to 20%. Loan growth, total loans and leases in the United States expanded by 66, almost 70%. And then in the period we've just gone through from 2008 until 2015, when rates went from 5.25% to 0 and stayed at 0, loan growth was like, 34% over that period of time. So, I mean, banks make loans based on the ability of borrowers to pay the loan back. And income is a big factor in that. And since higher rates add to the net income and savings of the non-government in the aggregate, I mean, maybe not, in a nice, evenly distributed way. And I know I get a lot of people pushing back on it. The rates, when the rates went up, it shuts people out and it takes away income. It doesn't take away income. It reshuffles it, and then in the aggregate, it adds to net income. The government is a net payer of interest. When it raises the interest rate, it's like pouring more water into a swimming pool. All right, and as long as there's nothing offsetting taking that water out, it adds to the level of the swimming pool. I mean, I don't know why that's so hard for people to understand. It's hard because they've been indoctrinated, and then they do not want to, people hang on to these beliefs. It's like comforting to them. It's comforting to them. It's like having, like when you're a kid, you got your little binky, your little blanket, or your stuffed animal, you hang on to it. You don't want to let it go. Thing's falling apart, it's dirty, it stinks, whatever. They're still hanging on to it. I cannot, if that is the way you operate, to me, that is, you're a grown adult, you have a mind, you can think, you can ask questions about your beliefs. In many cases, you could see where your beliefs are contradicted by evidence. And if you still maintain the beliefs, that to me is craziness. That's craziness. All right? There's nothing, I've spoken about the difference between economics and hard science. Economics is not hard science. No matter how much math these economists and professors do at these places like Harvard and Princeton, it's not science. Any legitimate science would be laughed out of existence if its theories and hypotheses were not observable in the empirical evidence. And if they didn't go back to the drawing board and say, what went wrong here? What can we correct? No, they just kept on stating it. They would be laughed out of existence. Yet many of you cling on to these beliefs and just say, no, that's the way it is. And no matter how many charts or things or data that somebody shows you, you just keep saying that's the way it is. Sorry, but that's the way it isn't. All right? Anyway, a lot of stuff coming out in the MMT Trader Report. Get it later. All the things I talked about are happening. All right? You got the dollar sell-off. You got the gold rally. You got rally in metals. By the way, I looked at zinc at a 10-year high. aluminum, a lot of these industrial metals, aluminum, copper, tin, lead, all right, all at multi-year highs. Very, very interesting. Soybeans starting to break out. I don't know if you remember this, but, several months ago I had one of these stop loser crybabies. He had the report for why you can't stay in soybeans. You got to have a stop loss, Mike. You got to have a stop loss. Well, guess what? My soybean position is big time in the money right now. Yeah, you can't stay in. You can't. Well, who says I can't stay in? What is that, like written in law somewhere? Come on, people, really. Toughen up. Toughen up, all you babies out there. You can't stay in. You got to have a stop loss. You got to take a loss. Goodbye. I'll see you later.